Live interactive Weather Authority coverage, sponsored by Rennie's, for your next Maine adventure, will begin shortly.
My knees are there.
Rennie's, a Maine adventure.
Your live interactive Weather Authority coverage, sponsored by Rennie's, starts right now.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday to you. It is a absolutely gorgeous start out there on this Monday morning after a just glorious weekend. No other way to put it. It was beautiful. Hopefully you got to get out and enjoy it. I know I sure did. It was just so nice, soaking the sunshine and the warmth. Felt a little guilty about it because, of course, this is such a normally cold and snowy time of year, but hard to complain about those 50s record highs on Saturday and very similar weather yesterday. So again, thanks everybody for joining. It's our new Monday segment that we're doing every week where we bring you the week's forecast. And of course, lots to talk about today. I was going to be in here anyway, even without our segment, because we do have a storm to talk about for tomorrow. However, if you're watching Good Day Maine this morning, you know that that storm has trended towards a much less impactful event. So we'll talk about that coming up here in just a second as more of you guys join in. So hopefully everyone's having a great start to your day, great start to your week. Of course, the Super Bowl was yesterday. Hopefully it's national, of course, call out sick from work day. A lot of people might be doing that. It's a perfect day to do it. Just beautiful weather. No one's going to blame you if you call out sick from work and you go and enjoy the nice weather. It's going to be a gorgeous day to do that. So good morning, everybody. Good morning, Jennifer. Hopefully you're having a good one as well. It's been a beautiful sunny start to the day. And it's looking really nice again for this afternoon. I mean, we just keep winning this month, it seems, with mild weather and lots of sunshine. Low 40s, mid 40s this afternoon. Looking really, really nice out there later on today. All right, of course, that's not why we're here. We're not here to talk about nice weather. We got to talk about some snow headed to Maine tomorrow. Now, been a big change, huge shift south in expected snow totals over the weekend. So again, expecting a whole lot less snow here across the state. A far southern Maine event, the furthest southern portion of the state is going to get the most snow out of this. The further north you go, even less snow is expected, with a very sharp cutoff in southern Maine, somewhere in southern Maine. We are much colder this week, though, after today, with several more snow chances. I'm eyeing Thursday night, and I'm eyeing Saturday or Sunday. Still iffy on what day we're going to see potentially snow this weekend, but there is at least some chances of it for Saturday and Sunday. So again, pretty, or at least a more active week on the way than what we saw out there last week. All right, I want to talk about the trends with the snow. Here's our snow map. Of course, this is what a lot of you are probably watching for this morning, but I want to talk about the trend with this snow. So I'm going to pull up a different view here. Bear with me for just 1 second. All right. So this is a tweet from another meteorologist here in the Northeast that showing the impressive trend of this storm. Notice how it is, I'll use my mouse pointer here. Notice how the storm has just been ticking southward and southward and southward each successive run of the model, more and more south, less and less snow. That's been the trend here. And in fact, as you can see, the past 24 hours have featured one of the most dramatic short-term model adjustments with a Northeast U.S. winter storm in over a decade. Yeah, the models whiffed, totally missed this storm, completely backtracking on what they were showing earlier in the weekend for today. So it's not fun to bring you major changes to a forecast, especially a snow forecast, within 24 hours. But unfortunately, that's just been the case with this storm. It has not been an easy one. It's been a frustrating, headache-causing storm, that's for sure. So again, the trends have been for a lot less snow, and you can see that there. With the storm, you can see ticking south with each successive run of the model. So if you're wondering why all of a sudden our snow totals are looking so much lower, well, that is why. And we're going to bring up the snow map now. We're going to talk about that. Again, not expecting a whole lot out of this. Again, if you are curious about what we are expecting for your neighborhood, drop a comment below and I'll be happy to answer it about this storm. I'm sorry, hold on, I'm just typing 1 second. Questions, drop them below. All right. And yeah, if you've got any questions about what we're expecting with this storm tomorrow, feel free to drop them below. Here's what we're expecting in terms of totals, though. Originally, over the weekend, it was looking like we may be talking about 8 inches, 10 inches of snow in the Portland area or across southern Maine. It was looking like that was a pretty good bet. Again, those trends over the past 24 hours have brought the heavy snow way to the south. So now we're only expecting very light amounts, 1 to 3 inches in the Portland area over towards mid-coast Maine. If you're in Lewiston, you're watching right now, you're in Augusta, you live in Naples, you live out in Bridgeton, out in Sebago, you're watching right now, I wouldn't be shocked if you get maybe just a quick coating, and that's about it. I'm really not expecting much snow in central Maine, Lewiston, Augusta, probably going to be pretty much bypassed almost completely by this storm. The mountains getting pretty much nothing. Thanks, Robin. I really appreciate that. No questions on the weather in my area, though. Yep. Yeah, Robin, you're going to be pretty quiet up there up at Sunday River in the mountains. Good morning, Patty, and good morning, Diana, and good morning to you, Stacy. Hopefully everyone's having a good start to your Monday after the Super Bowl, post-Super Bowl Monday, and a gorgeous day, too. I mean, we can't complain about that. Even if you're a snow lover and you're sad about the snow trending southwards, well, at least we get some nice weather to enjoy today. Yeah, good morning, Barbie. Hopefully you're having a good one. Yeah, it's basically mud season already. It is just muddy out there from the warm temps this weekend. I mean, it was nasty in some parking lots. I was cross-country skiing actually on Saturday, and the parking lot of the cross-country ski place was just a pit of mud, basically, from all the melting that was going on. Yeah, Dylan says there's no more snow. Yeah, if you live in the Portland area, it's all gone. It all melted. Every bit of it melted over the weekend. There's just some piles left over. We're going to get at least a teensy refresh tomorrow. I'm thinking Thursday night into Friday probably ends up with a little bit more snow for us than what this storm is going to bring. So if you're in York County, you're getting the most. Sanford, Kennebunkport through Wells, Ogunquit, 2 to 5 inches down there, 4 to 8 inches in places like Kittery, potentially, although that seems unlikely at this point. I bet you that we are going to see that even ticked a little further to the south with these, again, very big southward trends with this storm. So again, if you're just joining us, we're talking about the snow potential tomorrow, and the models have majorly shifted this storm south in the past 24 hours. So that means a whole lot less snow for us. Not a very impactful day tomorrow. It shouldn't be too bad out there. Yeah. For example, Patty in Waterville was looking like yesterday was a good bet. You were going to get at least a couple inches there. Today, I wouldn't be surprised if you don't get anything, and maybe a few flakes to a coating. I'm not expecting much more than that, Patty. Unfortunately, or fortunately, if you're not a big fan of the wintry weather. So again, pretty minor snow event. Let's talk about the timing with this system on the way tomorrow. Again, gorgeous day today. Let's talk about that. It's going to be beautiful out there. A beautiful day on the way for tomorrow. It should be a great one for our Monday afternoon. I think I'm going to try to get outside this afternoon. Looks like a really nice one to get out and enjoy. Now, as we head into tomorrow, we are going to see the snow developing. Looks like 10 a.m., 11 a.m. or so, late morning. The morning commute is fine. I'm not expecting any major issues in the morning commute. However, by midday, that may change a bit. The heavier snowfall moves in. If you're in York County or the Portland area, a good shot of getting some maybe more moderate snowfall rates in the middle of the day. It's going to be breezy. The snow will blow around a little bit, so there will be a reduction in visibility. There will be some slick travel out there, but I'm not expecting a major shutting down the roads sort of event by any means. How is the snowpack? Yeah, it's pretty abysmal, Robin. I hate to say it, but yeah, the deficits that we are running are impressive. Portland is 20 inches below average for this season. So not into drought, though, because we've seen so much precipitation. January was one of the top 10 wettest across the state. So it's kind of boosted us, even though it's been very dry in February. 1 to 3 inches, nothing. What is Falmouth getting? 1 to 3, somewhere around there, Nathan. I'm not expecting a whole lot in the Falmouth area. Patrice, though, commenting in from Kittery, that's a little bit of a different story. You're going to get the highest totals in the state. It looks like 4 inches, 5 inches or so. You might squeeze out a half foot down in Kittery. That's the one spot where it could be a bit of a more impactful day because again, we're going to see those highest totals down there in the far southern portion of the state. So again, tomorrow, worst conditions around lunchtime, worst conditions. It's not going to be a horrible storm by any means, but it will come down steadily at times. It'll be breezy. And again, we do also have a coastal flood threat tomorrow. So that's also something to keep in mind for Tuesday afternoon. So snow begins to wrap up here as we head into the evening hours. We should clear out pretty quickly. I would think by even the evening commute time frame tomorrow, snow should be pretty much coming to an end. So yes, there will be some lingering slick spots. Yes, it could be a little bit of a slick drive home or a slower drive home tomorrow. Not expecting anything too crazy, though. It shouldn't be too bad out there. I'm not calling a major weather warn day or anything like that. Looks like it's overall going to be a very manageable event here across the state. Patty's commenting in about South Portland. South Portland, 1 to 3 inches. It's going to be an easy, quick cleanup sort of event here with about 1 to 3 inches, as I mentioned, in South Portland. So again, wraps up pretty quickly as we head into tomorrow night, heading into Wednesday, Valentine's Day, of course. If you got your special someone, you'll want to bundle up with them. It's going to be pretty cold on Valentine's Day with high temperatures only in the 20s. It's going to be windy too. It does not look nice on Valentine's Day for getting outdoors at the very least. All right, switching gears away from that threat, talking about coastal flooding for tomorrow. I was actually in downtown Portland yesterday, and I took this picture. Sorry, it's hard to type and think at the same time, you guys. Coastal flood threat on Tuesday. Yeah, I was in downtown Portland yesterday. Took this picture in the Old Port. You can see a little bit of coastal flooding. We've seen it since Friday. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday all had some coastal flooding. Today's high tide will do the same thing, and tomorrow's looks even higher. So here's tomorrow's forecast. Again, it's looking like we will see the potential for some coastal flooding. Notice how it is higher than today's forecast. So some splashover, some road closures, maybe some erosion, all possible along the coastline for tomorrow. All right, got a bunch of people commenting in. Victoria, not much for you there in Augusta. It's looking like maybe an inch if you're lucky. That's how much this storm has turned into a almost non-event here. Biddeford, Lisa, I could see you squeezing out 2 to 5 inches. Let's call it 2 to 4. I'd say a good shot at least a couple inches of snow there. Similar story in Buxton. I think a couple to maybe a few. Maybe you squeeze out 3 inches there in Buxton. Definitely not anything crazy. 1 to 3 now in Portland. I don't think we're going to be in that 2 to 5 inch range. Lisa in Biddeford, looking like for you, 2 to 3 inches or so is probably a good bet. In Harrison, Maine, again, not much expected up there. It's a coating maybe at best. So, and most of York County is in the 1 to 3, including the Buxton area. Yeah, that is true. I'll come back around to our snow map here. I know, Isaac, this is, if you are a snow lover, Isaac's bringing up a good point here. Hopefully the snow will go a little bit north and not south. If you're a snow lover, again, this has been a depressing trend for you because, again, it was looking like it was going to be a solid amount of snow. Now it's looking like very, very little. And Isaac, unless we get some sort of holy grail last minute shift to the north, I'm not expecting that forecast to really change at all. Although, hey, considering what the models did in the past 24 hours, nothing would shock me at this point. Raymond, you are lucky if you get a coating in Raymond. Lewiston, similar story, a coating to an inch. Very easy, manageable. Not a big deal there for tomorrow. Yes, and most of York County in the 1 to 3 inches. Can't ride the snowmobile in the mud. That is true. Unfortunately, it's just not our winter. It seems like the storm track hasn't lined up. The cold air hasn't lined up. Just not the winter for snowmobiling, cross-country skiing. It just has not panned out as good as it has looked. Lori is also asking about Kittery. You'll get the highest totals in the state, Lori. I'd say 4 to 6 inches. Probably a good bet for you there. You may squeeze out a half foot out of this storm, Lori, down in Kittery. So again, coastal flooding also a concern if you live along the coastline. It's going to be a wind-blown snow. It is looking pretty windy tomorrow. Winds gusting up to 35 miles per hour. Not expecting a blizzard, not expecting whiteout conditions or anything like that, but some reduced visibility, some more slick travel. And again, the snow just blowing around could make for some more slick conditions out there. So just be aware of that. I'm not, again, this is not a major storm by any means. It is really looking like almost a non-event here, so shouldn't be too big of a deal for us. And as we head into Wednesday, now Valentine's Day, as I mentioned, looking cold and very windy too. Valentine's Day looks just bitter. Hopefully you've got your special someone to cuddle up with on Valentine's Day because wind gusts up to 35, even 40 miles per hour. Highs only in the 20s. That means wind chills, single digits pretty much all day. So we're going to be warming up a little more than that after Valentine's Day. So hopefully you got that special someone to keep you warmer than the weather will be. Let's talk late week though, because that has a better shot, I think, of bringing us some snowfall here late week. So Thursday night into Friday, it's a totally different system. It's not a nor'easter. It's just a clipper system, basically a cold front that moves in from Canada. They're usually pretty moisture starved. They don't have a lot of moisture to work with, but they can generally provide 1 to 3 inches, maybe 3 to 6 inches if they really squeeze out all the moisture that they can. So This one looks much more widespread. I'd say the whole state has a good shot at getting snow from this. Amounts look light, but early guess, if I had to take a stab at potential totals, a 1 to 3 or maybe 3 to 5 inches if we really squeeze out all the moisture out of this. So like Robin, who's commenting in from up near Sunday River or Rumford, I think Thursday night into Friday, that's your better bet for getting snow up there. And I don't think so, Robin, but this year in particular, or just this winter, has been unusually windy just with all the storms that we have seen. So maybe that makes your perception of it a little bit feel like it has gotten windier, but I think it's just this particular winter has been generally on the windier side. Travis saying 3 to 6. Yep. We're going to come back to the snow map here coming up in just a second. So again, week system, Thursday night into Friday, that's our next chance of snow. May bring us a few inches. Potentially another one moves in Saturday or Sunday. Still very iffy on what we're expecting for the weekend, but just keep in mind, maybe a little bit more light snow Saturday or Sunday. All right, before I wrap things up for you guys, I'm going to go back to our snow map here. There we go. Zooming right through all this. And there we go. Snow map. All right. Everyone who was asking about totals earlier, here you go. You can look at the map, pick your town, find your location, and that's your total there. Travis, living down in Leamington. Yeah, you're in the 1 to 3 inch range, Travis. Sorry if I said 3 to 6 to you earlier. 2 to 5 inches, basically Sanford southward. Someone else commented in from Kennebunk or Biddeford in that also 2 to 5 inch range there. Someone else commented in from Kittery. Lori, if you're still watching and you're commenting in from Kittery, of course, notice how you are just in that teensy little sliver in far southern Maine where we do see a little bit more snow there. So potentially the only spot in the state getting a half foot might be you down there in Kittery. So again, not a major event here. We're tracking more snow later this week. It may have a little bit higher totals than this. So we'll keep an eye on that as we head throughout this week. So hopefully everybody has had a great weekend. Hopefully you have a great Monday, everybody. We'll keep you posted if there's any changes with this storm. But again, I'm not expecting it to be too big of a deal, but there could be some slick travel on the way for tomorrow. So just drive safe out there, but otherwise not too bad for this storm and should get through it with minimal issues. So again, have a great rest of your day, everybody. We'll keep you posted on what we're expecting with this storm, especially if anything changes. So again, yeah, have a great one, everybody.
Live, interactive CBS 13 and Fox 23 Weather Authority coverage for your next Maine adventure has been sponsored by Rennie's.
Rennie's, a Maine adventure.
Make sure to stay connected with CBS 13 and Fox 23.